Yeah. Chick. Sorry, I'm an amateur. Hold on. Check 1, 2, check. Hey. All right. Good evening, everybody. How's it going? I used both intros for both channels. How's that? Oh, hold on. There, remove that. All right. I don't know why. Let's see. Remove from studio. Remove from studio. There we go. It's just me now. Just little old me. How's it going, everybody? It's Saturday night. Thought we'd go live. Sterling asked me if I was going to go live. I said I wasn't sure. I said I doubt it, but I was like, oh, what else am I going to do? I'm not on the guitar. Yes, that's true. But I haven't been in the mood for the guitar here lately, so we'll find out. We'll figure it out. I've got this too loud. Hold on. I am a rookie, Ratman. I am. No audio yet here, Snorlord? Is it not working? Is it working? Yeah. There you go. It should be working. My wife's sitting here literally watching this on her phones. So let me check this. Yep, it's working. See, I'm monitoring. So there we go. It might be a delayed, right? So there we go. Okay, it says it's good to go. So I'm live on both channels. So if you see me highlight a comment you don't see, don't freak out. It's okay. It's on the other channel. So if you guys don't mind, you can go to the Snorler OG channel where I have less moderators, so you trolls can go in there. Also, I like to get the watch time up on that one. So, but either way, I'm grateful that you're here. The Snorler OG channel is where I talk about other things besides trucking. These Saturday night open forums, it's for anything and everything within reason. You know, we're not getting into the conspiracy stuff, and we're not doing politics. We're not doing we're not talking about the pews or anything like that. We can talk about them a little bit, but we got to be careful because YouTube, the great Google gods, don't want us talking about that. But we do mention it on the OG channel. I've done a couple of holster reviews. Just random things. I did a video about traveling with a firearm, and which there goes my green dollar sign right there, but that's okay because it's important, right? So so get some more people in here and we can talk about anything and everything. I want to so speaking of music, right? If you guys don't know, if you're new to my channel, I played guitar for a death metal band called Apnea for many, many years, from basically 16 years, from year 2000 to 2016. I broke the band up, started a new band called Sulk, SULK. We haven't done really much in quite a while. We haven't done anything really, and it's more slower. It's not death metal. It's more just kind of traditional doom, I guess you could say. And but I've been a musician since I don't know. I started playing back in 91, I guess, after I graduated high school. And so I know how to play guitar, bass, drums. I'm not the best drummer. I'm okay on bass, but I do okay on guitar as well. The intro that you hear, that's all me in the band. And so we talk about music every now and then. We talk about metal. I'm wearing a Mon Amarth shirt, of course. Got the heavy metal logo on the back. So that's kind of our deal. So sometimes we'll talk about that. And so, but anyways, I was out. Get this. This is going to be weird to you guys, but I was out going guitar shopping. Well, why are you going guitar shopping? Well, I want to get a good acoustic guitar, not like some Martin or Taylor that's like thousands of dollars. I'm not that guy. And I was irritated because number one, there's three things I hate shopping for: shoes. Well, no, it's four: shoes, wallets, cars, and guitars. And you would think, well, a musician, you should be having fun, shopping for guitars. Absolutely no, I don't. Because I'm the kind of guy that once I find something, I stick with it. And like I used the same guitar for 16 years, pretty much 15 years, I guess, in apnea. And it was kind of what gave me our signature sound. And so I'm not the guy like wallets. I wait till it's almost deteriorated before I change it because I get comfortable with it. Cars, I just hate salespeople. The salespeople that try to sell you pieces of crap, I hate that. And then shoes. Well, shoes are a matter of taste, and I hate most people what they think what cool shoes should look like. So there's that. So I tend to get, so my wife and I are looking to get a couple of instruments and for this new project we're doing, and I thought I would save her the pain of dealing with these guitar stores. And I went to 3 different guitar stores. I went to Guitar Center. I went to Palin Music here in Springfield, and also what was the other one? Evan Williams, which used to be Springfield Music. And now I'm old school. I have a full stack. I could play a stadium if I wanted to. I've got some experience behind me, and we went and saw a band about, I don't know, 6 months ago, and we noticed that they didn't even have amps on the stage. And they're like, "Oh no, they do it different now. You just plug in this board, and boom, you have everything you need." I'm like, "Well, I don't have that much faith in a sound man." And but I like having the full stack behind me. It makes you go, "Yes, I'm powerful," And I went and looked at amps just for the hell of it. Didn't recognize half the names, and they were like $4,000 and $5,000. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I think I paid $1,500 for my half stack, and then I paid like I think $400 with the one of the cabinets I have, one of the 412 cabinets I have, and I'm just like, and then so I'm looking at guitars right now. Guitars have become kind of interesting. You have, I will say this, a beginner level guitar you can get into for $150, $200. They're actually not bad quality. I have one that was a guitar I had in the truck. And so that's cool. But then the expensive guitars have like almost doubled in price. I'll give you a perfect example. One of the stores I went into, they had a Gibson Flying V, and it was $10,000. Now, I would not even touch a guitar for that's worth $10,000. I wouldn't even do it for a $5,000 guitar. So I was just flabbergasted at that. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. How at first I'm like, oh, how's a kid supposed to learn music and buy a guitar on like some minimum wage budget like I had to. Let me turn this down. All right. But then I remembered they have these lower end, fairly reasonable guitars. So there's that. But the amps, now, you can buy this board that goes into your computer. You can record everything you want, drums included, have all the tones you want. If you want to sound like Metallica, you can sound like Metallica. If you want to sound like Pantera, you can sound like Pantera. If you want to sound like AC/DC, you can do that. And I'll get to the comments here. And then record yourself a demo, put it up on iTunes by the end of the day. I mean, that's how crazy the world is, the music world is. So here I am, this old man wearing a death metal t-shirt, going into these places just like, what the hell am I doing here? And ironically, I'm looking for an acoustic, right? So we haven't decided if we're getting the acoustic for the wife or not yet, but But yeah, so it was crazy. I'm so glad I had my glory days, because it's a much different world, much like trucking. It's a completely different world. The concept's still the same, but it's a different world. There are things that are better, but there are things that are not so good. It's like the level of entry is not that high anymore. Whereas back in the old day, you kind of had to develop your sound. You had to buy certain preamps if you wanted to sound like certain guitarist. Now you can just click a button and boom, you've got Dimebag sound, you've got James Hetfield sound, you've got Dave Mustaine sound, you've got Angus Young sound. Click, 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 which is kind of cool. But at the same time, where's your sound? Where's your signature sound? If you listen to Stryper, they have a distinctive guitar sound that you can't mistake for anybody else. So, but anyways, let's get to the comments here. And we're trying a trick that CDN told me about. So we'll see if it works or not. This mic seems extra sensitive here, so that's cool. Dennis Richardsville first. What's up? This touring life. Speaking of music, Jason, what's up? Pale Rider TV. Yo, what's up? Come on with it, says Dennis. Reefer 77. Hello from New Jersey Turnpike. I used to do deliveries at Barnes and Noble there in New Monroe Township. I almost said New Monroe Township. And I usually stayed at that Travel Plaza right before you get to that exit for that. Wasn't a bad place. I was always paranoid of getting my hood taken out. BLR, what's up, Snorler from Minnesota? Use them CB radios, right? Absolutely. I am a big advocate for the CB radio. Hell, just driving around town like I was a couple of days ago, I had my CB on. Actually checked to make sure it was working. Someone actually answered me. I was picking up a lot of ham radio, which is strange for me. So I don't know if the atmosphere has changed since I've been on the road, or if maybe there's something wrong with my SWRs or whatever. Ratman Road and Rookie, what's up? BLR, no audio yet. Okay, we already fixed that. Let's see. I'll go on the OG channel just so you can get views there. I appreciate that. We've got 30 people in the main channel and 5 people in the OG channel, so I appreciate that. Hello, good evening, Mr. Snowlord, and everybody. Greetings from San Diego, California. Nothing witty, cool kids get to hang out at the OG channel, right? No coke and hookers, no. But I do have a beer, so I do have that. So don't judge me. This is my last beer for 40 days, by the way. So I will be observing several fasts for the next 40 days. So, you mean the train thing was on purpose in Ohio kind of thing? LOL. We could talk about that. We'll talk about that. That's right. Nothing witty. Dennis Sulk, SULK. So, rest area raccoon. I like that. That's funny. You must be a vicious individual, because raccoons are vicious little creatures there. You graduated in 95. Excellent. So you're a little bit younger than me. A little bit younger. That's a country song. Shoes, cars, guitars, and wallets. It is. You lose those things, you're kind of screwed, right, Terry? If you lose those 4 things, you're done, right? Trucker's Table, what's up, man? Good to see you. Same here with you in the wallets I am with women. And once you find a good woman, man, don't get rid of her. Jackknife TV, Snorlord, well, thank you. What's up? I've had 2 wallets in the last 20 years. That's how I am. So the drummer of the current band, he does custom leather work, Nerd Culture leather. Let me see if I can get the website up here. He does excellent work. And he made me a custom Snorlord wallet, which is the same runes that are on my firearm that I got customized. So Now there's a debate whether it says Snorlord or Stormlord. Either way, it looks pretty cool. Let's see if I can get his website up here. Yeah, let me show some of his work off here. Now he can customize anything. So this is the kind of work he does. I don't know why that picture is blurry. He does great work, and he doesn't do just wallets. He does like dice trays. He's done some handbags. He did like a mask. It's kind of creepy. That's all made out of leather, and he'll do anything. It could be something happy and rainbowy, and he could do something like here's one with the deer. Does excellent work. You've seen me jam with this guy. So if you guys have seen the live streams where the drummer and I go live, that's Mike Shepard. When you see us go live, this is the guy. I mean, he's got, we get up on stage, we'll be ZZ Top. So, but yeah, check out his website. Here, let me copy link. I'll paste this in the comments. You guys can check it out. If you want some custom work, tell him I sent you. There you go. So I had to make me a custom wallet last year, and I try to help out small businesses. I don't want to give the Wally Worlds and the Targets any more money than they deserve. Some of that might be lack of sales. Kids are rotting their minds out with TikTok now, not sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's true. That's absolutely true. I got a Fender Squire loaded with bullets. Like it? Nice. You get a discount if you wear a cowboy hat. Yes. Greg Zimmer, good evening. I remember Season the Abyss by Slayer the first time I saw on MTV. The sound was awesome. Yes. I got to see them on that tour, by the way. That was the Clash Titans tour. That was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. I've seen Slayer twice. Saw them on their last tour, their final tour. It was such a great time. Such a great time. Exit 8A, I know that area well. Yep, that's it. That was back when I didn't have to worry about the toll bill. Stuart, what's up? Josh the Vegan, howdy y'all. Did you say 40 days of beer? I could do that. No, this is the last beer, and then I'm not doing anything for 40 days. Yo, miscreants, what's up? Rest Area Raccoon, where you been? So I believe the link is not all there. Just no, it's got the Google link. So let me do this here. This will be better. Here's a better link for you. There. Thanks, Google. So there we go. That's the website right there. So we'll show it off, shall we? We'll show it off. I'll help my buddy of mine out. Share screen. There you go. So this is his work. Like he's done some handbags. He does these dice trays for if you're a gamer. He does little key fobs. He does, money clips. It's really good. I've had my wallet for over a year and it's held up great. And if there's any issues, man, he will service it. So check it out. Here's if you're a punk guy or gal, there you go. Quality work, all handmade. And this is what he does full time now. He worked for a leather shop here in Springfield, and he did this on the side, and then he decided to go out on his own. Let me show one of his handbags. There you go. So pretty high quality stuff here. He does not make holsters because he doesn't own anything like that to mold. And leather holsters are they're not great for you. They're kind of tricky to build. I wouldn't trust a leather holster. I do have a leather bottle holster I got one year. So it's kind of cool. That's funny. Yeah, you just asked. So I asked him about doing holsters. He'll do knife holsters, but obviously you got to give him the knife to do it. But he's not in that world at all. So I mean, I'm sure if he really wanted to, a person could bring him. You'd have to meet him in person, see if he wanted. I mean, he'll build it if you tell him to, but he would need the firearm to do it. So, but I don't look as a holster guy. I don't recommend leather holsters. They're cool and all, but they don't retain well. You got to have a full blown, belt loop, and they just don't. They're not great. After time, they wear out, and it's not good for the trigger guard. Knife holsters like a sheath. Yeah, I guess that's what you call them. You call it one thing, I'll call it another. So Springfield is booming. I'm bidding a lot of work there. Yeah, we're doing a lot of we're a town that's like 200 something thousand now, and we've literally doubled in size since the time I've lived here. So yeah, a lot of crap going on here. Darn, my first holster was a leather. Is probably the most comfortable holster I've had right now. I have an Alien holster. It sure's got a lot of attachments, but it's not that comfortable. And here's the thing: the only way you can make a leather holster is through the belt outer waistband, and that is the most comfortable. I bought belt loops for two of my holsters, and I absolutely love it. And but with this gut I've got going on, and I've gained a couple of pounds, and we'll talk about that if you want. It protrudes, inner waistband with the Kydex, but Kydex is the best protection. It locks. You know, if I was a competition shooter and I wanted to have just something on the outside, maybe a leather holster would be great, but it's also pricey too. A leather holster is probably going to cost more than, a decent Kydex. Now, as far as the Alien gear, if you got the double wide thing that also has the magazine deal, that's yeah, that would be comfortable, especially if you're like me and got a gut. I mean, I don't know what kind of build you got, Jackknife, but because I don't stare at your belly, but you know, I got some like limp kind of holsters, and they were more comfortable. But man, you get scrapping on the ground, or if you move wrong, it comes out. And I didn't need that. That actually happened to me. I was in a very public place, and I got out of the car, and the gun actually fell onto the ground right in front of me. It was still in the holster. That's how good the Kydex holster was. But yeah, that belt clip just doesn't work, So I had to, so I'm glad I got the belt loops, and it makes it really secure. So I'm not worried about, is it uncomfortable? It should be a little uncomfortable. It should be, because, you want to know that it's there. So, and it inspires me to take better care of my health. So, questions. My 2014 Cascadia keys up okay, but there's no info in the digital screen. Gear selection, PSI, etc. The red def light flashes, starts, but it won't shift into gear. Auto, happen 3 times in a day. You might have a harness problem. So it's more likely an electrical issue. I know that a buddy of mine had to replace his harness. It was pretty pricey. So I mean, it's not like turbo level pricey, but still costs a penny. With it being a 2014, there's a great chance. I'm waiting for mine to go out, to be honest with you. And every now and then, my traction control and my ABS come on. They'll just hey man, check it out. We're here. We're not doing anything, but you're cool. So, but yeah. No, nobody's asked me. I'm drinking a Heinenklugel chocolate beer. So I think it's the last one too, because they only do it during the Christmas season. Howdy, Mr. Feet was sick for a little bit, but all good now. Just chasing lizards behind the dumpsters. Going to try to get some skateboard work in a couple of weeks. Jackknife, I tell you what, my diet here is starting to get to me. I probably followed this keto diet about 90% of the way, and in a month between some fasting, I think I've only lost 10 to 12 pounds. Jackknife, let me talk about that. So let me mark this time here. So if you're new to my channel within the last year, about 3 years ago, I made the decision. There's a video called The Struggle is Real. I made it, and that was my way of telling people, you know what, it's time for me to do something. I was close to 400 pounds, and I needed to do something. I was not comfortable in my own skin. And so I went on a low carb diet. I did not call it keto. I hated the word keto because to me keto was a trend. And let me try something here. See if I can get this on the screen here. Pardon me. I'm going to get this on the screen. Get the email up here. So I started off low carb. I replaced sandwiches with just meat off the roller grill. I replaced donuts with eggs. I did it from the convenience store aspect of the truck stop. Let me get this. Let me get this up here. Oh, wrong email. Doesn't help that I have 15 emails. All right. All right, let me get the file up here. And again, if you're new to my channel, you're going to see something that you probably didn't know about me. And I'm going to get to your comment here, Jackknife. This is important, okay? That was me and my heaviest. I was at Landstar, hence the name. The guy I'm sitting next to or standing next to is a guy named George. And then Tex Crowley is next to him. I had to cut them out for the collage, but this was at my lightest at 258 pounds. So this was 390 something, I think. And then this is at 258, somewhere around there. And so let me tell you about the journey. Okay. And then we're going to be honest with you about some things. Okay. I didn't call it keto. I hated the word keto. I friended another YouTuber. He doesn't do too much anymore, but he started this Facebook page called Truckers No Keto, and he and I would talk because he was really heavy set as well, and he lost an amazing amount of weight. And I started talking to drivers that were able to lose weight as truck drivers because of a low carb diet. And so I had this divine intervention, I guess you could say that allowed me to see food for what it really was. And let me get that back on the screen here so I can kind of, and that allowed me to avoid sugar, and so I went with a more paleo approach. If it didn't have a mom or didn't come out of the ground, I didn't eat it. And that worked. And this touring life, he went through a similar transformation, right? And that worked. But then I started to dive into the keto rabbit hole on YouTube, Dr. Berg and Thomas DeLore, and from what I've learned, and those people, and so I went into high gear. And then Little Viking Coach, also known as LVC, he inspired me to do the intermittent fasting. And so as a truck driver, I lost that weight that you see on the screen. Now, to Jackknife's comment, I'll tell you what my diet is starting to get to me. I probably followed this keto diet about 90% of the way. And in a month, between even some fasting, I think I've only lost 10 to 12 pounds. Here's what's going to happen, Jackknife. You may not lose the actual poundage, but your measurements are going to change. The fat is kind of rearranging. And so if you hit a plateau, you need to cut out, if you can, try to cut out the different forms of MSG that are out there. And then you want to try to avoid seed oils as much as possible. That's canola, palm oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, sunflower seed oil. If it's not avocado, coconut, or olive oil, pure olive oil, then you don't want it. And a lot of restaurants cook in peanut oil, like McDonald's fries. They used to cook them in lard. Now they cook them in peanut oil. And all that stuff creates inflammation. And so if you got inflammation, MSG, and you're still having a couple of cheats, you're retaining water. And that's maybe why you're not losing a lot of weight at first. But you're going to start noticing measurement changes before you start noticing weight loss. But the important part is you feel better. The weight loss comes secondary. Because the guy on the left there in the gray shirt, he was not a happy person. And so it was worth it to not be involved in these, pizza parties and not, not feel included and be looked at weird like you're some kind of freak because you're only eating what Mother Nature told you. And it was worth all that to feel the way that I did. Now, I have since then have gained about 40 pounds back. I fluctuate between 30 and 40 pounds that I've gained. And a lot of it's because I'm under a lot more stress. So if your cortisol levels are always tapped out, that helps you, that keeps you from losing weight. If you're not sleeping right, that keeps you from losing weight. And so it's about insulin resistance, right? So MSG is horrible, and there's like 58,000 names for MSG. So when you look at the back of a package and you see chemical names that you don't recognize, don't consume it. Now, I know that's hard because, sometimes you're out of food in the fridge in the truck and you got to go into the convenience store to grab something. There are some alternative stuff, but I usually try to go for the eggs. I usually try the boiled eggs. I usually try to go, like, Petros are awesome because you can go into their breakfast buffet, get it to go if they have an iron skillet still, and then grab just the eggs and the meat and all that. And that's better than nothing. So, but the intermittent fasting was really key in the truck for me. And I have trouble with the intermittent fasting here at home, but for the next 40 days after the day, I'm kicking it in the high gear. And I'll keep everybody kind of informed of how I'm doing. But your measurements are not going to be there at first. So just know that. So don't get discouraged because it's not about that number. It's about how you feel. I just got a sticky holster, IWB, and surprisingly stable, secure so far. Haven't tried doing cartwheels with it, but so good. I use that for a pocket holster when I'm just grabbing something real quick outside, going to the store real quick. Um, it works in a pinch, but I don't tuck it into the waistband. Evening all, how goes it? And I don't put anything else in that pocket. I'm not a fan of any holster on my waist or hip. Whenever I carry, it's under my right arm or my upper torso. I never print. That's good. I'm on both channels, but the cool kids hang out on the OG channel, so I'm staying here. Thank you. You don't feel tardy? I prefer the leather ones. They stay nice and tight. Plastic ones dig into my donuts too much. You must be an appendix carrier. I'm looking at buying this 2016. Good to hear, Raccoon. No, I don't have the one that holds an extra clip. I have the Smith & Wesson SD9. I've got one of those. And if I can't hit something with 17 bullets, I'm probably screwed anyways. This is true. I like having the extra mag for, if you got to clear something, but, clear a malfunction or whatever. But I have an SD9. I like it. It's very comfortable. I mean, I picked one up and was like, yeah, this is one. And, a lot of people say they have reliability issues, so it's not my carry weapon. It's a little bit bigger. The one I carry is a 3.6 inch barrel, and the SD, I believe, is either 3.8 or 4. Maybe not a 4. It's probably a 3.8. Losing 10 to 12 pounds is awesome. Just awesome, right? If I hand you a 12-pound bag of rice and told you to carry around all day, it get heavy, right? So that's the thing. 10 to 12 pounds can make a huge difference on how you feel. And, and usually within the first 30 days, most people that go strictly low carb, they'll lose a lot of water retention. Hello from Seymour, Texas. Toby and Shelby Christie watching, drinking beer and grilling. Excellent. What are you grilling, Toby? I'm a steak man myself. The place where I feel most vulnerable is if I have to use the public restroom, at least, concealed carrying wise. Well, here's a trick. I try to use the handicap stall that has the baby changer, the baby diaper changer, I guess. Not the baby. You don't go in there and change change babies up or whatever. But that I just put it on there. Just don't forget it. So just don't forget it. You hear stories about that all the time. David Edwards became a YouTube member. Excellent. Thank you, David. I appreciate you. Woohoo. We got Pale Rider at our party. That proves how cool we are. Yeah, we got 7 in the small channel and 30 in the big one. So I appreciate that. Rest areas. Yeah, we'd be cool. With both feet, wiring issue or a depth sensor sucks. You have the auto shift, a manual. You would at least be able to drive it somewhere, if not in D rate. I'm really enjoying the videos, Pale Rider TV. Yes, everybody give Pale Rider TV some attention. He's going full on Asian Mai on channel volume or video volume, and I told him to keep it up. So check out his channel. May I ask how much you were exercising before you got disgusted? So, David, here's the thing. The majority of the weight between the two pictures you see here, and I'm gonna share the screen again so you guys in the back can see. Very little exercise. That was strictly with diet change. And it wasn't until I got below 300 that I was willing to exercise. Because when you're trying to exercise as a 400-pound fat man, it's tough. And so I've done a lot of research since then, and there are things that I could have done better. And so there was one time we did this 5K. I told the wife that if I got down to 250 pounds, I would do the 5K with her and my youngest. And I got to 258. I said close enough, and it was glorious. I went to not Matt's last year, but the year before all the shutdowns. I believe that was 2019. I felt great. A lot of people were surprised to see me. They're like, "Holy moly, wow!" Because they only see me at truck shows. So, but now I'm incorporating exercise when I can. It's a little bit hard in the wintertime. I have to find a routine that works for me. I found some really good videos by a YouTube channel called HasFit. Pretty low impact stuff. And the wife and I were doing that every morning, Monday through Friday. But then when we all got the vid, we got out of that habit and we've never really gone back to it. And I'm trying to figure out the best time. They say the best time to exercise is actually right after you eat. After you eat, at least do a walk. So if you're at the truck stop, eat some food, walk around the trailer a few times after you eat, and that'll help with digestion. That helps with the insulin spike. Midwest Mike, what's up? SST, how's it going? I'm working on getting back in the low carb wagon. It's tough, Jason. I understand. I mean, look, here's where I've strayed. Number one is this: I do have a beer on occasion on the weekends. Alcohol kind of destroys the micro gut biome or whatever microbiome, and so my cortisol levels are elevated because of the dispatch and things going on here. So I'm a little bit more stressed than I would be in the truck, to be honest with you. And just I'm cheating with the breads. I haven't really. Every now and then I'll have a cupcake that the wife will make, but I really don't cheat with the sugar. But I have cheated on the breads. I've gotten lazy about that, and if I can just avoid eating at noon and just eat what the wife makes, or cook something my own if she's not cooking something that's friendly to my low carb thing, then I need to stick to that. So I think for the next 40 days I'm quitting alcohol and I'm going back to the strict keto. So now here's the other thing about keto. All right. This is why I hate the word keto. The products that you see in the stores that are labeled keto are not good for you. They're just a different form of trash. Let me give you an example of how they can spin something that you think is healthy and it's not. So let's everybody's heard of Ensure, right? Ensure the drink. This is what they give old people in nursing homes. Ask me how I know. They have those commercials where they're showing them hanging out with the vegetables, thinking that they're the healthiest, best option. And it's going to make me zoom in, right? Now, Ensure's not labeled as a keto item, but we'll get to a keto item here. But let's share the screen again. This is what I'm talking about by going back to your roots. Water, milk protein concentrate, canola oil. You're literally eating or drinking glycerin, fructose, corn maltodextrin, soy protein isolate, short chain. I'm not even going to attempt to read that. Corn oil, soluble corn fiber, and all these things they got to do for the. But water, milk protein concentrate, which is not even real milk, canola oil. So go to your kitchen, find the oil, vegetable oil, and drink it with some sugar. That's literally what you're doing with this stuff. Now, let me do this. This is the Slim Fast Keto ingredient list. See if I can find it here. MCT oil blend. Okay. MCT oil is not bad for you, but it's a combination of palm, coconut. So you don't need the palm oil, but the grass-fed butter, so that's good. Protein blend, whey protein, concentrate, whey protein isolate, grass-fed collagen, which that collagen's good. Erythritol, that's not bad for you. Natural flavors. Who knows what the hell that is? But then you got soy, lecithin. Soy is bad for you. Carrageenan, I don't know what the hell that is. Dextrose, silica, and Gewer gum. Silica is that stuff that they put in your beef jerky and say don't eat it. But this bottle here is like $20. Now, I don't know anybody that's ever lost weight doing Slim Fast, but they're jumping on that keto bandwagon. So you have to ignore the things that are marketed as keto. Because yeah, they might use erythritol, but they still might spike your sugar. They still cause an insulin reaction, and so that's where a lot of these like carnivore people especially will go avoid the keto products, because a lot of them are just, like Aldi's has a bunch of keto breakfast bars, and they're full of canola oil and just junk. And seed oils are almost as bad, if not worse, for you than sugar is. With both feet, that's some good work, Snorlord. Awesome. My problem is I don't burn much off. Have been pretty sedate lately. I lost all that weight without exercise. It was only towards the end that I was able to exercise. I'm looking at buying this 2016 International with an N13, 163,000 miles, and if no major problems, I'm going to gut the SCR, delete the computer. They're good engines, just bad after treatments. I do not have a positive opinion of the International. Desert Oaky Pam's had major issues with hers, and it's brand new. And then I believe Fate Truckins had one that has one that's giving him fits, but he's got the Cummins in his though. Only eating things that had a face. Yeah, you're right. My old lady said my face is thinned out and I have to really notch my belt now. See, there you go. The results you're going to feel, the results you're going to see, and it's going to go beyond just what the scale tells you. So, A26 is more reliable, much less real estate under the hood. Thanks, IH guy. I've been hoping it's a relay or something simple. Going to check the cab SAM module for moisture intrusion before I go wiring. Also, lemon juice will help get rid of excess water. Electrolytes, and usually that just means Himalayan or sea salt in your water, and you're good to go. I would rather fast than eat what's in a truck stop. There you go. And that could be difficult. Look, you had a crappy day and you're stressed out, and you walk into the truck stop and that food is engineered to smell good to you, especially when you're hungry. It's tough to resist that. Trust me on this. I know. I used to get the meal for two for Popeyes and zone out eating that while watching Netflix back in my Schneider days. That was my routine. And now the smell of Popeyes just sickens me. It's expensive though, because I feel it'd be easier for me to just eat like steak and broccoli every night than try to do something different. What makes it expensive is if you're eating 3 meals a day, that makes it expensive. Thanks to the vid and and that the government wants you to die slowly, they've made healthy things like eggs and beef much more expensive. So a great alternative, and I suggest Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Sean Baker on YouTube. They will tell you that, low quality, low priced meat is better than, nothing. It's just as good as having a $20 a pound ribeye. And so the biggest challenge with the keto low carb / diet is the variety. And it's tough. So you almost have to change your relationship with food. It's just sustenance, right? And so I have different hamburger recipes that I do. A lot of times I'll do hamburger with cabbage. I'll do just hamburger patties with salsa on top. I'll do broccoli, cauliflower rice. I'll do Brussels sprouts. I like Brussels sprouts. If you do salad, don't do the salad dressings. They're full of canola oil. So salt, pepper, maybe some melted butter. I mean, just, and butter the steaks, butter the hamburgers, and true butter, not margarine. And that helps. And if you eat that twice a day, you're good to go. So a lot of times, ideally, when I was in my peak weight loss, I was eating a little bit at noon, maybe a snack at 3, like pork rinds, and then a full blown meal at 5 or 6 when I was in the truck, because I was pretty routine with the loads that I did. And let's say I knew I was going to be driving until 8 o'clock at night. What I would do is I would stop at 3, eat, and then just go from there. I wouldn't eat after that. Only eat between noon and 6 twice, and you're good to go. And in the morning, when you feel hungry, ignore it. It'll go away. And when you're in ketosis, what happened to me is in the morning about 9 or 10 o'clock, if I got up at 6, I would start feeling hungry. And then I would burp and it would be done. No more hunger pains. And then eventually you're going to have a day where you completely forget, oh, crap, I haven't eaten today. And you don't feel it. You don't feel it at all. Kind of like when you're, let's say you're going through a major life event, like you had a family member pass away. The last thing you want to do is eat, right? And so, you suddenly get, you think of, last thing you want to do is eat something, right? So, because it just seems meaningless. So what I used to do, one of my routines in the trucks, is I would put 2 frozen burger patties into the Hot Logic Mini, plug it in, and forget about it. And halfway through the day, I would put Brussels sprouts in there, frozen. And by the time I shut down, there it is already. You're good to go. I would do crock pot. I'd have a little tiny crock pot that I plug in the inverter going down the road. And I would have a beef roast. I would have pork roast. So you can have variety. But it takes a little bit of thought, and sometimes you just got to go in and just grab the 2 hot dogs off the roller grill that look like they've been there since January, and some pork rinds, and call it a day. But yeah, if nothing's in the truck stop that you can eat, just don't eat. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds hard, but you can get there. I can't think of a single way someone could birth or grow a taco. Much sadness. Carry wheel gun, you're old school, SSD. You gain weight 1 pound at a time, so you lose 1 pound at a time, and every pound you lose is an achievement. Yes. And there'll be a point, if you ever get into full ketosis, man, you're gonna lose a pound a day. It's a great feeling. Oh my gosh. I used to wake up every morning just a pound away. And you're gonna dump a lot of water weight, so your electrolytes become important. And essentially that could be salt and lemon water. So this IH guy, this truck is really clean and low mileage, and those N13s really good engines. It's the after treatments that are jacked up. That's kind of like that with all the trucks, right? I notice more energy and less aches and pains when I eat clean. I care more about how I'm feeling. The weight loss is more of a byproduct of eating clean to me, and that's absolutely true, Stuart. Another example. So for Super Bowl Sunday, my wife likes to do just kind of the snacky kind of stuff, and she made this Velveeta sausage dip, right? And the second or third ingredient in Velveeta is canola oil. Well, canola oil is an inflammatory. And for 3 days, my neck has been hurting. And I've had aches and pains that I haven't had in a long time after eating that. And so once you clean up your diet, once you are away from that stuff and then you go off rails for a minute, man, your body tells you because you've developed a tolerance to it. You know, that's why an alcoholic can drink 20 beers and seem okay because they've developed a tolerance to it. I have 2 beers, I'm like, you know. So that's and if you're an alcoholic and you go without beer for say 2 years, that first beer you're gonna have, man, it's gonna hit you like a rock. And that's how the food is engineered. All those chemicals that I showed you on these ingredient lists, that's what that's designed to do. It's designed to make you eat. It's designed for you to consume, and it's also designed for later. The aging, quote unquote, that you're going to have is really just the food just tearing you apart metabolically. So you're on anti-inflammatory, you're on the heart medicines, you're on the diabetic medicines, you're on all that. And these pharmaceutical companies for the last 5 years have been trillions of dollars making money off of you and me. Take out the VAC, leave that alone for a minute. And during the vid, the healthiest thing that you can do is lose weight, get your diabetes under control, because that's where COVID was affecting, the most. We're the out of shape, Just pulled the air brakes in Kansas City. Alfalfa, good deal, man. I lost 55 pounds while on the road. I would eat a couple of meat sticks for lunch and a simple meal at the end of the day and cut my soda consumption in half. Excellent. I'm 45. I'm a 45 4-ton Taurus Judge, man. The self-protection 410 shells are a guaranteed threat eliminator. Man, you're going to be deaf, though, if you got to shoot that off in your truck. Yay. Pale Rider, you don't have a wrench on this channel. Let me fix that. I'm confused which phone is watching who. Well, I'll have to make you a moderator later because I'm not going to juggle all these phones. I wonder if I could do it from here. Nope. I can block you from StreamYard, but I can't. Cabbage with bell peppers, onions, mushrooms, carrots, garlic, celery, and a bohemian sausage. There you go. TK, what's up? Good talking to you the other day. Absolutely, this store life says nothing witty. Sent you a text. Did you? Did you send me a text? Because I don't have it. Maybe you sent. Oh, it'd be on this phone. Durr. Yeah, let's do that, Jason. Thank you. So let me tell you Jason's story. This is this tour life. Jason, can I tell your story? I'm pretty sure you said yeah. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, Jason. Okay. Oh, here I go again, opening the wrong email. All right. A lot of us were hanging out on Zello before it got toxic. Jason called me one day and he gets on Zello and he goes, Steve, can you call me, please? And so I gave him my phone number. And this is This Tour Life. Check out his channel if you can. And he said, Steve, I'm in trouble. And because I was talking about my results, and he's like, I need help. I think the doctor only gave you what, a 15-day card, 30-day card, right? Oh, you guys have been commenting like crazy. Holy moly, I got to catch up. And he told me how much soda he was drinking. It was an ungodly amount. I said, "Look, dude, I know it's tough to quit cold turkey, but go to one a day. You drink more carbs in a day than I consume it all week." And so he did. And I think within the first couple of weeks, you lost like what, 15 pounds, Jason? Let me scroll down here. Yeah, they gave you a 30-day card, and within just changing one little thing. And so Jason went on a full-blown keto diet. I gave him some tips and tricks, and this was the result. You know, that's very similar to it's very similar to my deal, right? You know, this was me. And so these are true results. All you got to do is type in on Instagram or just hashtag keto transformation. And I accidentally took off the screen here. I believe Charles, that shows up in some of the other live feeds, he's lost a lot of weight. He called me one day and said he lost over 100 pounds because of my videos. And so and that's, so it works. It really does. You got to have some patience. But just, but here's the biggest thing that happened to me is I got this clarity that I hadn't had. My depression went away. And it didn't go completely away, but I dealt with things better. Like, the littlest things didn't set me off. And, and what was interesting about my journey was I had a guy named Juan. I think I'm trying, if I might be mistaken this. He approached me at Schneider and said he was worried about me. He was worried about my weight because he had been watching me since the beginning, and I ballooned up, especially when I was at Schneider. And then I had another Schneider guy call me out of the blue and suggested surgery, the bariatric surgery. And I'm like, hell to the no, because that doesn't solve the initial problem. I know several people that had the bariatric surgery and they still gained all their weight back because you're not solving the initial problem, which is the crap food that you're being fed. And TC Box, I see in here, once you figure out that these foods are designed to slowly make you sick, slowly make your kids sick, eating clean becomes a form of rebellion. You want to stick it to the man, you want to stick it to the government, you want to stick it to the entities that are making millions off of your suffering. Just eat clean. They hate that. And evidence is this Beyond Burger crap and the cereals that they push on our kids and the whole Easter candy and the Halloween candy, that's just, setting up all of that. Let me go back in the comments here. And the diet sodas aren't great. They're a good start to alternative sodas, but man, the chemicals. I used to haul hazmat chemicals that were strictly for Diet Coke, Diet Dr Pepper, and Diet Sprite. You walk into the warehouse, it smelled like Raid was everywhere. That stuff's not good for you, man. Not good at all. 2 placards. I made good money with those loads. Yeah, you don't want to be drinking that Ensure TC box. That's literally just sugar and canola oil, right? Dennis says you don't need any special diet, moderation, exercise. We aren't young anymore. Your body is slowing down, and you have to combat that. That's not 100% true, because if you eat a hamburger with no bun, that's going to be better. See, a lot of the foods aren't designed to do moderation. It all depends on your insulin resistance as well. Again, I lost over 120 pounds without exercise and without counting calories by just eating the right stuff. I'm talking like meals that would just stuff you like Thanksgiving. You've been getting a lot of exercise since you've been home. Yeah, Pale Rider, you had that health scare, and yeah, it's you're in a good place. David Edwards, if you remember, I'm getting ready to get my CDL. I have a service dog that I plan on getting in 3 or 4 miles a day. It's also great for my mental health. Absolutely. Look, exercise is definitely an antidepressant for sure. Walk all the time. It's great for the mind. Walk after breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's absolutely true. What's up with Matt's parking wise? If I'm getting a hotel or tailgating it, but it's like no truck. It's a no truck solo shower, etc. So there's portable showers in the truck parking lot. There's a free shuttle that goes from the truck parking lot to the show. If you're going to get a hotel, you can still park at the trucking area, and you just get an Uber to the hotel. So that could become expensive. Keeping up my keto diet, been eating better, I think. Excellent. TC Boggs, as long as you're starting, dude. I've been keeping my eye on you, and that's great. You're gonna feel so much better. My problem is the sugar. Sugar is addictive, man. It really is. It feeds cancer. That was the one thing that literally got me to end my relationship with sugar. Feeling better since you've been home. Excellent. I'm also planning on cooking in the truck. It could be a challenge at first, David. Instapot and electric skillet have been great while cooking in the truck. If you got a good enough inverter. I've heard full blown drug addicts like heroin addicts be able to kick that but not be able to give up sugar. That's absolutely true. Definitely sound and look a lot better than you did a couple of weeks ago, Pale Rider. That is true. We're all keto here, boss. Yeah, I've been okay. Top out the Ensure. And I don't consider, Dennis, I don't consider the keto a diet. I just consider it a way of eating. Because you can eat as much, you can eat a lot of meat, you can eat a lot of vegetables, and it's still going to be better than, 3 donuts that spikes your blood sugar, spikes your insulin. Because being overweight is not a caloric imbalance. It's a hormonal imbalance, and the hormone is insulin. That's straight from Dr. Fung, who's a doctor. right? He's a kidney doctor that deals with diabetic patients all the time. Look up Jason Fung, The Roots of Obesity, and that will open your eyes of why we've been lied to for the last 40 years. Go look up the show The Magic Pill. I believe it was on Netflix for a while. Literally take the food pyramid and flip it upside down. You know, if you want to have a roll or a piece of bread here and there, that's not a big deal. But your body's going to tell you if you eat clean for a while that it's not great for you. Listen to your body. No, carrageenan, it's made from seaweed. ProStar is a death trap. I've been carrying the avocado salads and no bun singles at Wendy's when I don't feel like cooking. Getting just the burger patties works as well. Most fast food places will sell you just the patties at a cheaper rate than the sandwich. But have a strategy in place, right? And that's what you got to figure out, because you're not going to be able to cook every night in the truck. You're not going to feel like cooking every night in the truck. It'll just be easier going to McDonald's and say, well, give me, 4 burger patties, 4 quarter burger patties, and go to the Subway next door, throw some lettuce on it, you're good to go. Bowler Woods, what's up? Everybody's on the Cool Kids channel. Max Force, what's up? Food helps me stay up. Boredom, I get anxiety if I drink coffee. That's too. Jackknife, I had the same problem. So when I started doing fasting Fridays, I noticed that I wanted to eat while sitting at a dock. And if I was doing a 600-mile drive, I wanted to eat. I wanted to snack. How many of you are like eating that bag of chips while going down the road? And you're like, man, I got to get these away. And you throw them in the sleeper. So you're not tempted. But then like an hour later, you get that back scratcher trying to reach them. You ever done that? I may or may not have done that in the past. Find the route. If eating while you're bored, you got to find something to occupy your time. Read a book, go for a walk, stuff like that. Grafton, what's up? ProStar is the first international I drove in 25 years since my 7670, and I thought they came a long way. I like that truck. 30-day carnivore starts tomorrow. I went and purchased 30 pounds of elk meat from Idaho. Nice. I've never had elk meat. I've had deer meat. I've got a ton of it in the freezer. I'm still eating on the 2 deer that I harvested the year before last. We got 2 tenderloins ready to go this week. I went carnivore, and after a week and a half, I couldn't stand to look at a steak. Carnivore is a different, I did a 40-day carnivore deal. I've got a whole playlist on it on the big channel. It's a challenge. It really is. And so I'm more of the ketovore variety, where you do mostly meat and then vegetables. But I love steak, man. I could eat steak every single night if it was affordable. Flying J pizza. That is a weakness for me. Whatever happened to going to the 76 and having a nice meal? They replaced all of that with the fast food joints. I have a lot of other meats like pork, chicken, beef, shrimp, cod, etc. I thought the elk would be a good addition. You throw some butter on the elk meat, and you've got your fat, so you're good to go. Don, what's up? Just jumping in for the moment. Love that picture you shared. I did the same thing with my fam when I started my authority. Got to appreciate the important things for sure. Trucking comes second. Yep. He's talking about the picture I posted on my community page, everybody. I posted a picture of my family. We're all hanging out in my brand new 53-foot dry van that I bought 5 years ago. Sterling, good evening. Greetings. What's up with your truck, Team Tiny? Are you selling it? You riding it out? Ride it out, man. It's not for sale. Good job. He lost hell. Yeah, Jason did good, man. And he was forced to. Look, sometimes life just forces you to do something. I mean, you look, all of y'all in here, you could be the best budgeter. You could have the best trucking job. You can have the best paying job. You could be getting $4 all miles, with no cost, and you're living high on the hog. and you're the best budgeter, you can handle any market, or your company is so awesome. But if you lose your health, if they take your CDL away because you are too sick to drive, what good is all of that? And so there's not enough emphasis on taking care of driver health. And that's literally the single most important thing. You can have a guy that's healthy but doesn't know how to budget anything, and he's okay to drive. But then the guy that knows how to, it could be a veteran truck driver that knows how to do all kinds of different things, and if he doesn't take care of his health, what good is it? How many drivers have you seen with the purple legs? Their CDLs are not long for this world. How's the van market? It sucks like everything else. Good for you. That's dang impressive. Bravo. Everybody's saying good job for Jason. Gary Bates got both notifications. Excellent. Trucker Jason's in the house. Surgery no surgery. No. I am just about the right level of pissed off and disgusted with myself to kick it into gear and lose about 40 pounds again. Keep thinking someday I'll put it together and stay around 200 pounds. If one of my moderators would find the struggle is real video on my channel, please put the link in here. Just type in Snowlord, the struggle is real, pick the first one. Because I was frustrated. I just had a conversation with my wife. I was ticked off. And I'm going to put this on YouTube and make myself accountable. I'm definitely eating simpler. It's just happy to be able to eat. I'm just happy to be able to eat pizza. Quest cauliflower crust meat lover, only net 15 carbs for the whole thing. Yes, that Quest makes some good stuff for people beginning. Eventually you won't need that kind of thing, but Quest does make some good stuff. So good on you, TC. Corrosive and oxidizer. Yep. Right now I'm sitting at 290. So I've gained a little bit of my weight back, but only because I've strayed. And that's mainly with some of the breads and some of the starches. And I've not been avoiding the MSG filled stuff. Just soda in general has a lot of hazmat crap in it in bulk, plus aspartame, a byproduct, E. coli. They literally harvest E. coli and use it as crap to make us. Yeah. Honestly, I haven't touched a scale. I just know that my clothes are feeling looser, and that's the beginning, man. That's the beginning. Because you're going to lose weight. You're going to notice your legs not being all swollen up. You're going to notice your pants fitting looser. You're going to notice your shirts fitting looser. You're going to notice your legs looking leaner. And then you're going to notice the stretch marks on your gut going, hey, man, where are you going? And it's excellent. It's such a great feeling. Tell me more about this low carb pizza. It's Quest. Look up Quest brand. I quit caffeine in November. I've modified my diet for about 6 weeks now. Only had a few cheat days when I went home last week. Good deal. And look, I think I heard you talking about your kid's birthday. Have a piece of birthday cake, right? Now you're going to feel it if you're eating clean quite a bit, but if just don't let it take you off track. And and birthdays are once a year, right? So it's okay to have that day like on Christmas or Thanksgiving, or you just got to make it okay. Right? Sound like glass. So you don't feel bad about that, but you definitely feel it when you stray a little bit. And so but my cheat days started to add up. So Friday nights I'm like, hey, let's just go get Chinese. So Chinese is my weakness. Oh, there goes my green dollar sign. Dang it. Let me see what Sterling texted me. Yeah, give me a few minutes, Sterling, to catch up these comments. Keto is health maintenance. When you're craving sugar, you're actually craving salt. That is true. I'm having a Coke Zero sugar. That's a start. A lot of chemicals in that though. I got a hot plate, 1,000-watt air fryer, microwave in my truck, and I'm starting to use them again. There you go. It's a small pizza, but it fills me up now since my appetite has decreased. That's the other thing. It doesn't take much. I didn't make a. That's funny. LVC. Wendy's and Taco Bell, I would have to say, are the easiest. Yes. But Wendy's, man, you order the two triple cheeseburgers with no bun, dude, you're good to go. Yeah, I still eat the tomatoes and onions on the meat patty. For me, it's okay to have some carbs. Yeah, that's not too bad. Tolga, what's up? True, I used to make food every day, not after a long day of drive is tired because you lose. At least make good food. I don't go nuts with them though. It's not like I'm double fisting a bushel of tomatoes. Elk is very good. Everybody's saying hi. Elk meat is really good whenever I go to Cabela's. I'll go up to the restaurant and get, but since Bass Pro Shop bought them, they closed the restaurant down and hasn't reopened. Oh, okay. Add butter to your steaks will help lower cortisol. There you go. Driver turnover due to health issues is a big factor. Absolutely. Yeah, his Thomas Delore, I mean, he can kind of overwhelm you with the facts. But yeah. True, got to renew my med card before April. Mostly it's meds you take and blood pressure. No meds and good BP. You should be good. Your health and family come first. Absolutely. Welcome back. What's up? Humberto, have to problem cross the border in Canada all the time. USA, US, or Canada. I'm not allowed to bring any kind of meat or ever. Yeah, that can be an issue. So you got to work around that, right? Thank you, Sterling. Part one. Thank you. Thank you, LVC. Yeah, you guys are on it. I found the good sugar-free beef jerky at Aldi. Yes, I saw that. Oh yeah, General Sal with pork lo mein. I feel you. Right. Ask anybody who's come through town. Like Shannon and I, we hung out. We did Chinese. Several other YouTubers have come through town. We take them to Chinese. You know, DIY came through. We went Chinese. So Chinese is my weakness, but I still don't go nuts. All right, Sterling, I'm going to email you this link. Hold on. We're going to go back talking about music because some of you guys don't want to talk about health. So, I want to hear Sterling's music store story. Sterling, I don't think I have your email in this one. Oh, there you are. All right. We're going to bring Sterling on. I'm not putting an open link tonight. I mean, maybe towards the end. All right, Sterling, I sent you a link. Fasting promotes autophagy, which will repair health issues. Absolutely. LVC is the one that got me into the fasting. And LVC, I don't know if you weren't here in the beginning, but we're definitely going to go full swing because I have gained about 30 pounds back. 40 at the heaviest. So because I have been fasting and I haven't been real strict with the starches, MSG, and the breads. I mean, I'm not like eating a loaf of bread. And then I was doing a lot of the keto bread. Keto marketed bread is actually not good for you. I mean, it's better than regular bread, but not by much. So there he is. What's up, Sterling?
How are we
How's-
doing? Is my audio okay?
yeah, check out your fancy Knight Rider lights.
Oh,
That's what that reminds me of.
I just finished my little EDM show on my other channel. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. You caught me mid drink. Jeez, dude. You're supposed to talk, not ask me questions. So you were telling me about a music store. Did you hear the beginning when I was talking about my music store
No, I was
deal?
finishing up my show trying to get in here.
I was I'm shopping for acoustic guitar and possibly acoustic bass. We haven't decided what the wife wants yet. And you know, a lot of these amps I don't recognize and they're like just $4,000 and $5,000, you know. One guitar store had a Gibson Flying V brand new for $10,000. That's what I said too.
Wow.
And man, I started hovering around it. Man, the sales guy was kind of looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm like,
Yeah.
this should
Si-
be out of my reach,
He was
right?
sizing you up.
Sizing me up. So, so what's your music store story?
So they're in Reno. There's a store called Bizarre Guitar. It's also paired with a gun store. So it's Bizarre Guitar and Bizarre Guns. And historically, they were known as like one of the best music stores on the West Coast. And the guy that runs the store, he used to maintain a almost a museum in the basement, and he used to keep all these crazy, $500,000 Les Pauls and all that. They say his collection's insured for about $17 million. I think the last time I heard.
Dang.
And if you look around on the internet and stuff, there's a lot of musicians that have been there and checked it out and stuff. And his sister used to interview bands there at the store. So she's interviewed everyone from Korn and all these bands that come through Reno and play at the casinos every once in a while. So I've never been in the store. I've lived in the Reno area since 2000 and stopped by there today. I just wanted to get some cables and maybe some microphones and stuff. And Google told me, it opens at 10 a.m. And I was like, good, I'm going to go there, get what I need. I don't have to go to Guitar Center and deal with apathetic salespeople, and grab the door handle and it's locked. And I was like, oh, okay. And this guy comes hobbling around the counter there. And he goes, sorry, I can't walk too fast. Half my foot's amputated. He was kind of a bigger guy. I know you were talking about health a little earlier.
Right.
And he's friend of the family. And basically he runs the store there. And he's like, well, what do you need? I can't let you in the store. And I thought, well, a special event? Are they trained? Is there a celebrity? Is Tom Cruise in that store? I was kind of looking around him, to see what's going on in the store. And I left a little pissed. And to cheer myself up, I went to the gun store next door. Nice little shop. Checked out some guns, and I wasn't going to buy anything, but I bought ammo just to support the mom and pop store.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, we can't accept your money here. You're going to have to walk through into the guitar side. So just follow the little blue trail all the way to the guitar side. And I'm like, okay. And met the same guy that, wouldn't allow me in the building. And he's like, oh, hey, I recognize you. Basically, ever since COVID, they can't deal with having salespeople and people coming in and out. And, the health department didn't want anyone coming into businesses and stuff like that. So the guy basically closed up shop and just turned it into a warehouse. So all those guitars, and you can't sit down and play guitars and test anything out anymore. He owns the building that it's in. So he's not worried about rent or anything like that, but there's no storefront anymore. And all that history, that store had been there since the early 70s. There's no tours of the basement with all the cool guitars or anything like that. And the guy relayed a story to me that was kind of sad. It's these mom and pop stores, they're disappearing.
Well, so are they not? have they not lifted the shutdowns in Reno or what?
They did, but then you can't get people that want to work. So what was the use? And then he started noticing that, people were stealing from the store a lot and stealing knobs off of guitars and just causing trouble.
Wow.
So why have a storefront anymore if you don't need it? And it has saved, he cleared out some employees and stuff, but it saved his business because basically he just runs a catalog store now.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, being connected to the gun store was allowed to stay open because by constitutional law, they're supposed to be allowed to stay open.
That's correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's funny. My wife and I were having lunch one day and we were next to a pawn shop, and I'm like, we got to come up with a shop that's like guns and guitars. I think that'd be cool. And then lo and behold, a store that doesn't. They're out of business, kind of. Not out of business, but they don't have a storefront anymore.
Yeah, they've had to shift their business plan to completely. You can order from the website. You can call their number and order guitars and stuff, but you can't walk in and talk to anybody. There's no human interaction anymore. And I think a lot of that's happening in society. They don't want us talking and chatting. They just want us to sit here and rectangle of doom and order everything we can.
Yeah, it's I think the only thing I've ever mail ordered from like a musician's friend, I do believe I bought my PV Triple X half stack. I believe maybe I did buy that in the store. Maybe I ordered it through him, but I can't remember now. It's been so long since I bought anything like that. The last guitar I bought was from an individual friend of mine in Arkansas, and I'm trying to think. No, I did buy. No, that's the last thing I bought, and I'm looking for an acoustic now. And there's a little mom and pop acoustic shop that has some, I forget what brand it is, but they have some really good quality stuff. But let's see. LVC says a creative active way of being, a new book by music producer Rick Rubin. He has lost a lot of weight.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That dude's story is really cool.
Yeah. Cool Trucking, what's up? Saw you sneak in here. Unfortunately, tons of shops are having similar destiny nowadays. Yeah, a friend of mine's record shop went out. The two others here in Springfield were able to stay in business because they were able to pivot and do online and curbside, but the other they had some other issues going on as well, and that's kind of what I'd like to open eventually.
I remember you saying that, yeah.
Yeah. So, but kind of like owner operators diapering,
disappearing.
Okay, that's yeah. Hopefully, with Sisolak gone, Nevada will improve some.
There has been some improvement with the turnover and but basically, state of Nevada is not going to be purple as much as it was, and they just awarded Tesla a whole bunch of contracts to build a new semi factory and stuff. So,
yeah, where's the factories making the charge stations? Where's that at?
That's Reno.
Okay.
Yeah. Reno and Austin.
I know that during President Biden's speech, he said, during the State of America, State of the Union, he was like, we're going to build 5,000 more charging stations. Like, how's that going to help?
I was commenting on Pale Rider's show is like, we can't even get shore power at a truck stop. We can't even plug in our air conditioners at a truck stop. How are we going to charge a semi truck?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had the auto air. Remember auto air?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the thing right when I first started, but then it started to disappear shortly thereafter.
Idle air.
Idle air, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I never used it. But I know Pale Riders used it because they had it at his terminal there for CalArc, and you had shore power that way, but I mean, those were dilapidated. They went out of business, and when fuel was cheap, they went out of business. And then there was another company that tried to revive it, but that failed because they couldn't get anybody to monitor them, and so truck drivers would park there anyways, whether they needed the service or not, which, I mean, hey, you can't remove 100 spots and not
Right.
expect some, flack for it. So, and I know that there's a service plaza in Pennsylvania on the turnpike that had a couple of those idle air style, like shore power kind of things, but that's just shore power. I don't know if that's enough to charge.
There's no way.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there was a report I saw that to be able to charge electric trucks at a truck stop, it'd be almost like power in a small city.
It would have to be, yeah.
So I mean, the fact that these states are jumping the gun on trying to make, car and diesel gas, gas and diesel cars and trucks illegal in their state, the sales of them, like here in the next 5 or 10 years, I'm like, that's putting the cart before the horse. I don't.
Society
Yeah.
infrastructure is not, it's not ready for it.
Right.
We have a neighbor right down the street here that bought a Tesla, traded in. He had a Toyota Camry. It got 26 miles per gallon, commuted to Reno all the time. Well, he traded in for a Tesla, and he's not saving any money. He's got a higher car payment. He's got higher insurance. Those Teslas are very expensive to insure, and his electricity bill went up $300 a month.
Holy moly!
Where are you saving money? Big deal. You're not buying gas, and you're saving rainbows and butterflies. But where's the sense in that?
Well, what powers electricity, everybody?
Clean coal.
Clean coal and natural gas.
Nevada is mostly geothermal and natural gas.
LVC said Elon Musk is running world's largest Ponzi scheme. DIY, what's up, man?
There
How's
he
it
is.
going?
Yeah, you got to love it when Elon Musk says his semi truck is badass. Yeah, that's going to sell trucks.
Every RV park can do it. Why can't truck stops?
Yeah.
I remember when Idle Air started, a lot of people said it wouldn't last. They were true.
Didn't it have like a little TV screen in it too?
Yeah, you can have. So they put this alien looking thing that sucks into your window, and you had to buy the window insert, and then it had your TV screen, it had your power, it had your AC, it had your heat. It had Wi-Fi on it. Not Wi-Fi, but like direct internet.
Right.
And so you can be completely. It was a good concept, but now at the time it was kind of ahead of its time, but now it's kind of because we got inverters in our trucks and you got all the cool luxuries. Just you got bunk heaters that don't take much fuel.
I remember California pushed it really hard when CARB was starting to take over, and they put all those laws, but you can't idle your truck more than 5 minutes and all that. Then magically Idle Air, started popping up all over California.
Well, the thing with California, so if I take my truck to California, I could idle my truck, but I couldn't use my APU.
Because it doesn't have a DPF on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The engine is certified California idle, but the APU is just, and it uses less fuel, but it pollutes the air. Look, I remember as a kid going in the LA basin and seeing the smog. I get it, right?
Yes, and it's not like that anymore at all.
And so I get that, but at the same time, how many times do shippers keep the trucks there for hours and hours in the heat? The ships in the port probably create more smog than the trucks do.
Yeah.
So and so when it comes to electric trucks, I just don't see the infrastructure. And like you pointed out with your friend with the Tesla, I don't think they're that much cheaper. I mean, Elon Musk is saying that your cost per mile in the truck is going to be like, a lot cheaper, which, okay, let's say they're right. Well, that doesn't mean we're going to get good rates anymore. It doesn't mean they have to pay you 60 cents a mile as a company driver anymore. So, and then the minute that thing goes on fire and they have to call 3 hazmat teams and 15 fire trucks to put that thing out, that's going to get expensive. That's probably why they're so high to insure.
They don't put them out. They can't. It's called a thermal runaway. You just got to let it burn out.
Wow.
Or they pour water on it for 10 hours, hoping that all the battery packs cool down enough so it doesn't pop the remaining batteries. It's nasty stuff.
Oh yeah, and have you ever watched that show, BattleBots?
Yes,
dude. We're like, we watch that show religiously, and every time a battery catches on fire, man, they got that smog sucker going on there, and it's pretty cool. There's a lot of shops and factories did have a hard time getting 3-phase. The grid just simply can't support it. Yeah.
And how are you supposed to get 3 phases at every truck stop?
Right. There's a granite shop I need that put in a 3-phase generator because it was easier and more cost effective. The power company was pretty much telling them that it could be done. Freightliner has had electric trucks for 3 years. Penske and Amazon use them.
Yep, I've seen a few.
Delete your truck. You're in business to make money, yourself money, not the dealers, right? I want to try to get the price point of the APU I'm offering down to at least $6,000 to $8,000, not $14,000.
Right. He's got a new truck, so you don't want to put a used APU or anything on it.
Jackknife. I have experience with used APUs, and it's not great. It tried to kill me. It set my truck on fire. But here's the thing: you pay $6,000 for a used APU. You're gonna guaranteed, in a year from now, if you put it in a $6,000, especially a Thermo King APU in your truck, I want you to go a full year and then tell me I was wrong. Please do that, because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up putting another $4,000 into that APU. I've done it. I know so many other people that have done that. And so you might as well just get the new one with the warranty. I bought a brand new Carrier for my truck, and that thing is a champ. That thing is a champ. I love that thing. And I've had to replace an alternator, and I've had to replace a capacitor, and that's it. And that thing runs every day, keep my batteries charged. That thing runs all night, every single night I'm out, because I use a CPAP machine. And I use a space heater in the winter. I don't even have a bunk heater in the truck. And I use and the AC on it. It's not the best. I will say that Thermo King's got a beat on the AC. But I just put a fan in the right place and I'm good to go. So, I mean, if it's 110 degrees outside, then yeah, hardly anything keeps up. But, what I'll do is I'll idle the truck, get it super cold, for about 15 minutes, and then turn the APU on, put the fan on, boom, you're good to go.
And they recommend doing that with those battery APUs too. It's there to maintain the temperature of the truck, not chill it.
Right. LVC says there will be battery swap stations, not charging stations. Now that I believe, because Australia is already doing that. You go into this big garage, the forklift comes in, takes the batteries out, puts the new ones in, off you go.
Right.
Tesla uses cobalt technology, very dangerous and could be unstable. Lithium ion phosphate is the only cemetery safe enough, believe.
Talk to text.
It all comes down to money and how profitable it can be. We can sit here and debate it all day, but at the end of the day, we're going to do what is dictated to us. That's true.
Well, right now, PepsiCo has a fleet of Teslas, and basically they're the test fleet for Tesla.
yeah, I mean, I'll be curious to see what the cost per mile is on a Tesla truck. You know, and they're already like like Ford. Didn't Ford just cancel, like not cancel, but delayed their orders yet again
The Ford
for their
Light.
electric?
Yeah.
And like if I get an electric vehicle like years from now, I'm going to wait years from now when the infrastructure is in place and the technology's been proven. And but how do you handle winter? Do the batteries have heat? Does that wear down the batteries?
Yeah, it does.
You
The
know,
Teslas do, yeah.
what about, okay, so let me ask this. The batteries have to power an air compressor, correct?
Yes.
Electric trucks still have air brakes, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I don't.
And it's just constantly running along with your air conditioner and all that other crap.
So what if you have an air leak? Not some audible, that's DOT, right? But something that, we all have that truck that sinks down sometimes, at
Oh,
the
yeah.
end of the day.
Yep.
I just look. Maybe I'm just too old. Maybe I don't get it. But I'm interested. I mean, Frito Lay is probably getting a huge discount because they're the guinea pigs. Just like Walmart's getting a huge discount on the automated trucks because they're experimenting with it.
Right.
They've got several box trucks doing deliveries down in Bentonville area. Battery air conditions to cool sleeper. Battery air conditioner to cool sleeper. You can use a zero breeze bat. Oh, battery. 30 years they've been making the rules. I've been breaking the rules. It's a game. Sounds like a song. 27 or 28,000 pounds just in the truck for the Tesla. Good luck finding loads with that kind of weight. Never mind the short range. Tesla is the loser in the trucking sector.
Yeah, so I know a tow truck driver at Cal Nevada Towing, and they've been towing a lot of Teslas coming out of the factory, the Tesla trucks. He estimates that the weight of the truck is 23,000 pounds.
23.
Yeah. They wouldn't tell them, and they've got the stickers on the doors are all covered because it's still an experimental vehicle.
Oh, wow. Huh. Yeah, because my bobtail by itself is 17,000. So,
I mean,
huh.
when you think about it, take out the engine, the transmission, different axles and stuff like that. Maybe having 7,000 pounds of batteries isn't going to be that much of a difference.
Wow.
There's some Cascadias out there that are 21, 22,000 pound, Arctic package with a full condo.
Right. I know, like those Lone Stars, they were pretty heavy trucks, and then the Volvo 860 Globetrotters, they're heavy trucks.
Yeah.
Like, I almost bought one of those Volvo Globetrotters, and I'm glad I didn't because I do a lot of these water loads out of Kansas City when I'm running, and they're like, "Yeah, it's 45.5. Yeah, yeah, that's it." So
Good times.
Well, it looks like what you need to do, Sterling, is you need to open up a store, call it Guitars and Guns, franchise it. I'll start one here in Springfield, and we'll be filthy rich, and we can never be closed due to
You're only
emergency situations.
because I sold my semi truck.
Huh?
You're only saying that because I sold my semi truck.
You've got investment money. I've got investment money sitting right outside of my driveway here.
That's right.
What's it cost to get your FFL? Come on.
Oh, I haven't looked at that in a while.
So get your FFL, become a BC Rich and Mesa Boogie dealer, dude. We'll be good to go.
Hell yeah. Screw trucking. Oh, dude, working at FedEx right now, I am not a truck driver. I hold the steering wheel. I stare at the desert at night. All I do is move trailers around. I don't feel like a truck driver at all anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's Look, one of the first jobs my dad had, his CB handle was the Arizona Spaceman, because he would leave Phoenix with parts for the space shuttle. It was in a set of doubles. It was like a micro sleeper, kind of like your truck, and he, it was a single axle, and he drove it out to the desert, swapped with another guy, came back to Phoenix. We were going out somewhere out in California, and it was all like space satellite parts and shuttles parts and stuff like that.
That was probably Palmdale.
This is like in the mid '80s.
Okay. There's either Pasadena or Palmdale.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like 12, so I didn't know shit. So
all you cared about was BMX bikes.
Well, dude, I was in the truck. I would love being in the truck, man. It was like, yeah, check this out. This is awesome.
Right.
My Volvo 760 is about 17.9 without the APU. My solar system has 2,500 watts of solar panels and 900 amp hours of battery storage to mount on the trailer while it's commercial. I have to wait till I make it an RV.
Talk to text.
Less than 1,000 for a Type 07 FFL. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I didn't know there's different types. So what's a Type 7? I don't know anything about that.
It's probably slingshots and pea shooters.
Probably. Like Downey, California Space Shuttle? Maybe.
Yeah, it's like Rocketdyne or something.
Yeah, now the space company's in El Segundo, California.
Good old
okay,
space.
cool. Yeah, but it was fun. And, you know, and I imagine it was all night driving too, like what you're doing. And I would imagine, like in my early days of my trucking career, that would be hard, because my mind would go to dark places if there was nothing exciting to look at. And so this is how Pale Rider and I became friends. So I was in Gallup, New Mexico. I mean, we were friends before, but this is how I knew Pale Rider was a true friend. And this is when my truck caught on fire. So I'm sitting there, I've got my food and I got my TV, and I'm sitting there watching TV, you know, and all of a sudden the power goes out and I hear my inverter go beep. I'm like, well, that's weird. Huh. So I start up the truck and then I smelled smoke. And I had just gotten, and I think I know what did it. And I'll get to that in a second. So my truck, I smell smoke. So I immediately lift up my bunk to see if it was in the control area where where the guts are, and nothing, right? So I get outside the truck and I see flames billowing up right underneath the driver's side fuel tank. And I start yelling fire. And I get in my truck, I hit the air horn, and as I'm going and as I'm trying to get my fire extinguisher, this other driver hands me his, and we put out the fire. And
holy crap.
Yeah, dude. The truck to the right handed me, he's the one that handed me his fire extinguisher. The truck on the left, he took off. He's like, F this, dude. I ain't losing my truck over your ass, right?
Yeah.
And so the fire was out. Security came out, was like, hey, is there a problem here? Yeah, there is. And my truck started, so I can hear air rushing. So the mechanics come out, they look at it, and they're like, yeah, your air lines that go into the tank have melted, so you're losing air. And I'm like, okay, well, can you get me rolling again? And what had happened was the wires that go from the battery to the AP, or from the APU to the battery box to the inverter, they were not, what that happened was they rubbed raw, because you got to wrap them in the insulate, you know.
Yeah.
And an APU center in Stratford, Missouri did not put that on. And I think that one of the clips broke and one of the wires rubbed. And just the day before, I had gotten the truck washed at Amarillo, and they did this undercarriage wash.
Sure.
And Now here's the funky part, right? So I could not call my wife because I didn't have a signal. I had Sprint at the time. I did not have a signal to be able to call her, but I could post on Facebook. I could text. And so here I am texting my wife, "Hey, my truck caught on fire. I'm okay. The truck's okay."
Oh my God.
But I couldn't talk to her. I had nobody to talk to. And so the mechanics at the TA were super cool. So what they did was they're like, "Okay, here was your problem. Here's the battery wire that did that. We can't touch that." So he literally handed me the wrench and a roll of duct tape. We duct taped the thing, got it off the battery terminal, secured that. I secured that, and then um, he fixed the air lines right there in the parking lot. And then he told me to pull around. So I dropped my trailer, pull around. They fixed it for good, and then it was like $250. I was just like, and so
And
I
that
texted.
could have burned down your whole operation.
Oh, dude, it was like it was funny because Big Rick CO, he back then he was like he knew I was struggling a little bit, and he was like, "Well, dude, should have let it burn." Like, well, thanks for the confidence there, right? But so anyways, the I could not sleep that night at all. Like any weird smell, sound, man, I was on edge. And I had a delivery in Phoenix. And so I was going from Gallup to Phoenix, and I was leaving early in the morning. And I told Pale Rider, I said, "Man, my mind is really going to be in some dark places, man. You know, man, it's going to suck going across the desert at night,
Yeah.
just dwelling on this fire."
Yeah, because when you're out there, your truck is your foundation. It's you got to trust in it.
Right. And so Pale Rider called me at like 2 in the morning, and he was on the phone with me the entire time, like till I got down the 17-mile hill. And they're all off of 17, and I'll never forget that, man. He kept me in the right places.
Good.
And as soon as I had enough signal and the morning had broken, I was able to call my wife and tell her what happened. But after that, I bought a fire alarm, smoke alarm for the truck, and then a carbon monoxide alarm for the truck. Um, from there on, I think I went a year without the APU. I finally got it fixed later, but that cost like $5,000 at the end of the day. So they had to basically rewire the whole thing.
Yeah.
The engine itself was the first generation Thermo Kings, which those are good, but it was the install, and it just rubbed on the metal frame, and it arced, and that's why the inverter was yelling at me, and that's when I started the truck up. It sparked everything.
Yeah. I mean, basically, you're talking about welding cables. It's probably zero gauge. There's destructive force there.
Well, here's the thing. So had I been asleep and that happened, who knows what would happen? Because the Peterbilt is the Peterbilt 387. They don't have an escape hatch. To this day, I will not buy a truck that does not have an escape hatch. I won't do it. If they got a big window like the Western Stars, you can crash through the window, whatever. But like, I love having that whole side door.
Cascadia, you ain't gonna get it.
Right. So had I been in the truck stop, the truck would have burned down. Unless somebody nearby saw it and put the fire out for me.
Right.
But by then it would have been too late because it was right there by the fuel tank. So yeah, ask me how used APUs go. Spend the $12,000 and get it done right with warranties.
Especially if you got a new truck, chase the warranty. Get a warranty for everything.
Jackknife said he just emailed me.
With both feet just emailed me. We're popular over here. We're the email gang.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that might be cool, Jackknife. I won't go into the details. May not want them out there. Sterling sent you an email. Check it out when the live ends, please. Steve, I'm just trying to figure out why there was 3 guys in your bunk.
Uh-oh.
Did I say there was 3 guys in my bunk? When did I say that? But yeah, Pale Rider, man, he helped me through. And so I'd never, I was with my dad most of the time. I was in the desert. We lived in Phoenix. But as a truck driver, I think the majority of my, no man's land driving was, along 80 into Salt Lake. And I enjoyed those runs. They predominantly sent me them in the summertime, and I think there was one in the wintertime I did, but I've always said that if I had a steady gig that went from Springfield to Phoenix and back, I would do that all day long. But unfortunately, rates coming out of Phoenix suck, so I can't do that.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we had cab overs. None of them had an escape door. That is true. I remember that.
Yeah.
So.
But none of them had, complex smog equipment and APUs and, you could
all this electronic stuff.
You could run a cab over and disconnect the battery and run all day.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'd say, we were talking about health earlier. Majority of drivers couldn't get in some of them old cab overs right now.
I would have to stretch before I did it. Yeah. It'd be
here.
a long look at that door and be like, yeah, I better time for some yoga before I jump up in that.
Right. But all right, Sterling, thanks for joining. I think I'm going to end this. I'm out of stuff to talk about, and it was cool hearing your story. I appreciate that. So we need to get to work on this new chain we're going to start.
Yes, and support your mom and pop stores.
Absolutely. So
excellent.
So, all right, man. Well, take it easy. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Snorlord. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, later. Oh, by the way, everybody check out Sterling's channel and check out the Snow Rider channel.
The Snow Rider. The Snow Rider.
Excellent. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm going to kick you out now. Everybody, guys, thanks for watching. So, we're going to end with something that Sterling made for me, the Snorler OG outro, intro, whatever you want to call it. Peace.